I'm going to just say this. 3 C's that I would tell you to do, figure it out for yourself, trial and error it yourself. So you can see what moves you, what makes you feel alive, what brings the motivation, what brings the inspiration. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to tell you to create clarity. Get clear on what you want for your life. Again, not what circumstances is telling you to settle for, not what opinions tell you that you should be. Opinions told me that I shouldn't be here right now. Opinions told me I could never make it to the NFL. Opinions told me that I could never be a top influencer online with 14 million people. And I ain't trying to brag or boast, but I'm trying to tell you that this was built out the mud. This was built off of rock bottom when everything says I couldn't be it. But I got clear on what I wanted to do with my life. I got clear that I wanted to help people with self-worth. I got clear that I wanted to leave something here that was going to live even when I leave this earth. You have to create clarity in your life. Get very clear on what you want. Not what other people try to give you, not what other people try to tell you that you should be. Get clear on that so you can start constructing your day, the right habits. To say, okay, if I do these things, X, Y, and Z, this is gonna happen. If I know if I listen to this song, some of y'all got a song that you play, right? And as soon as you play that song, you turn into a different beast, right? You turn into that alter ego that I talk so much about. You turn into that person that has confidence. You turn into that person that doesn't even need motivation to do it because you're so locked in on what's meant for your life, on what you're trying to leave when you leave here. You're so locked in on becoming legendary and leaving something legendary that you do it regardless. So number 1, get clear. Whew, I'm passionate, man. Hope you guys are taking this in. I'm sorry I'm out in nature, but y'all know me, nature heals. Number 2, after you get clear, you have to create connection. Some of us, let me break it to you like this. Connection is power. Okay, look at something that's plugged in, right? Doesn't matter the 2 objects. Until you plug something in, that creates the power. Connection is power in the real world and in your personal life. Some of us, we're connected to the wrong thing. We're connected to stress every single day, and we're expecting to have peace. We're connected to an environment that brings us nothing but pain, but we're expecting to have fulfillment in our life. We're connected to our past, and we're trying to build our future. Some of us, we're living in the past that we cannot change, and we're wishing things can go back to how they used to be. How many of us right now are like, man, I wish it can go back to how it used to be. I wish, and you live your whole life wishing that you could try to change something that you can't change. Forget how it used to be. Create how it's gonna be right now. Create your new normal. We all need another level. I wish I can run a 4.3 again, but I can't. But that doesn't stop me from being in the best shape of my life possible. Okay, so create connection. Disconnect from the things that are draining you and connect to the things that give you life. For me, I create connection in nature. Nature is God's natural medicine for the soul. Nature makes me feel alive. I should be the spokesperson for nature, but it makes me feel alive. It's something in nature that recharges me, revives me. And when I leave here, I know I can show up the best Trent possible when I walk into the real world. So create connection, whether that's through people, whether that's through an environment, whether that's through reading. Right now, you're creating positive connection, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3 is you gotta create clarity, you gotta create connection. And the third thing I would tell you is you gotta create consistency. I like that, consistency. And I know some of us say, I have a consistency problem. You don't have a consistency problem. Stop lying to yourself. You're very consistent. Some of us are consistent at doing the wrong things. Some of us are consistent at being lazy every single day. And I know I'm sounding insensitive, but I'm just being real with you. I've been there. I don't have consistency. No, you just don't want to do the work. And change takes work. The most important work you ever will do is the work on yourself. The hardest work you ever will do is the internal work on yourself. And so you have to create consistency every single day. Set your day up with a routine, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's drinking coffee, black coffee. Maybe it's drinking tea. Maybe it's taking your BCAAs. Maybe it's appreciation. Maybe it's gratitude. Maybe it's prayer. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's going to serve. Maybe it's going for a run. Maybe it's going to lift. You have to construct the consistency that brings you the motivation, the inspiration that you need, the power that you need to be able to conquer your day and to be able to conquer your life. All right, so number 3. Okay, we moved on from the second section, we're in the third section, because y'all know I like to say a lot of numbers. Number 3, all right, after you build this legendary routine, after you remember who you are, you got to change your environment. Some of us, we're not motivated because we're in the wrong environment. And I'm not trying to get super deep right now, but I'm going to just be honest with you. Be straight up with you. Environments hold energy. The reason I'm recording this right now, this holds positive energy for me. I don't like being inside four walls. During this quarantine, our house that might have been positive energy might have turned into something negative, right? Because maybe you were depressed in your office. And so what I did was I got out in nature. So you have to change your environment. You have to create an environment that brings you inspiration. Some of us, we're in an environment that is sucking us dry. Some of us are in an environment that is taking away from our mental health, that is making us more stressed. What you surround your life around is what you'll become. And I know some of you think, Trent, I can't change my environment. You can change your environment. And if you can't change it physically, you have to change it mentally. You have to go to that happy place, wherever that is. You have to go to that place of disconnection. You have to go to that place where you feel inspired. Like, look around your life. It doesn't matter how many tips, how many strategies you get. If you're in an environment, if you don't make a change, nothing in your life is going to change. If you stay in the same environment, you're going to get the same results. It is facts. It is facts. So you have to decide, you have to make a decision to say, this is very uncomfortable for me to make this choice and decision, but I know what I want to do in my life. I know where I want to go. I know the things that I say I want, the things that you say you want. I know I can't get this here, so I have to make a choice. Okay, so change your environment. When you change your environment, you will change your life. I love to use this illustration. You can have the most beautiful flower in the world. That has the potential to be. But if you put that flower in the wrong environment, what's going to happen to that flower? That flower is never going to meet its potential. That flower is never going to get the credit it deserves of being a beautiful flower. You, my friend, some of you watching this, you're that flower. You have all the potential, all the talent, everything, all the goodness, but you're staying in an environment that's making you think different. You will become a product of your environment if you don't use your environment to create something better in your life. All right, so change your environment. And last but not least, as I wrap this up, because I only got 20 minutes. Last but not least, you got to control your perspective. And this is on you. And I get it, a lot of things may influence your perspective over the years, but how you see life is on you. And you got a choice. Your perspective can either be your power or it can be your prison. And some of us right now, it's our prison because we think it's Trent. Easier said than done. Trent, you don't understand what I'm going through. Forget easier said than done. Everything in this world is easier said than done. Me going to get up and run this morning was easier said than done, but I did it because I knew how much my mental health depended on it. I knew how much my energy depended on it. I knew how much being the greatest me depended on it. Some of you still ain't clear about your life. If you're in a prison mindset, you blaming, complaining, you looking at everything as an excuse. There's people that's looking at this year as an obstacle, and there's people that's looking at this year as an opportunity. And trust me, when the smoke clears, you're going to see who is who. So you got to break that prison mindset and make it your power. You got to say, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how impossible it may seem, no matter how much this year sucks, I'm still going to get the greatest me out of this. I'm still going to step up to the plate. I'm still going to shoot shots because you'll never make shots if you don't shoot them. The greatest strikeout in life is not stepping up to the plate. And some of you right now are thinking tomorrow. You know how many people said tomorrow that took their talents to the grave? You know how many people lived a whole life of I wish I would haves, and they get to the end of their life, dying with their dreams, dying with their talents, and it wasn't nobody's fault but theirs. Because you might not be in control of what this world gives you. You might not be in control of what people try to give you. But I can for sure guarantee you this, you are in control of what you accept. You don't have to accept nothing nobody gives you. So make your perspective your power. How you see life, can't nobody control that but you. And that's one of my secret things that really helps my life. And I'll leave you with this as I break perspective down. Perspective is this. How you see life will determine how you feel about life. How you feel about life will determine what you get from life. And what you get from life will determine what you do with your life. Right? Will determine what you do with your life. And actually, let me make sure I said that right, because I might have said it a little backwards. How you see life will be how you feel about life. Yeah. How you feel about life will determine what you do with your life, and what you do with your life will determine what you get from your life. So if you don't like what you're getting, from life, it all starts with the root issue of how you're seeing life. It either can be a negative obstacle or it can be an opportunity. You either can see it as it breaking you, being unfair, or you can see it as it's building you. You can see it as a curse, or you can see everything that you're going through as the greatest gift someone ever could have gave you. But like I say at the end of every single video, every single message, I wish you guys were right in here in front of me, but I feel your energy right now. It all starts with you. If you're not motivated, I just want you to know that's no excuse. Create your motivation. Create your inspiration. And when you have a reward big enough, some of our rewards aren't big enough, right? You ain't got a life reward that's big enough. And usually it's because you're focused on you. When your life becomes bigger than you, when you got kids depending on you, when you got this world, strangers depending on you because of your testimony, because of your story, because of your gift, because of your talent, then you'll find a way. And if the way doesn't exist, you'll create it. Stop sleeping on your life. You only get one of these. For real, for real. It's rehab time. Straight up.